Alan Menken had been working on these animated features that had been enormously successful, and he worked with a brilliant man who basically transformed that that whole genre, named Howard Ashman, who very unfortunately grew sick from complications from AIDS and died.
And we should say he wrote The Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and began Latin. And Disney was looking for someone to work with Alan and sort of continue in the tradition that he and Howard Ashman had begun, and met with me, and we had a very good meeting. The thing I remember about the meeting was that I was in California and I was told they wanted to meet with me, and so I insisted on them taking me to lunch. So I made the folks from Disney take me to lunch. We had a very nice meeting, but then, and I just wrote it off, thinking I would never hear from them again. But lo and behold, about a month later, Alan and I were actually doing an AIDS benefit in New York, and we were standing backstage, and he said, I heard you had a really good meeting with Disney, and they liked you a lot, and would you ever consider doing just lyrics to work with me? And I sort of jumped at the chance. And the next thing I knew, we were working together on Pocahontas.
Let's talk a little bit about the difference between writing a song for theater and writing a song for film.
There's a reason they call them movies, because things are moving, and you really can't just. I mean, on stage, as you pointed out, often the most amazing moment in a piece is the star comes downstage and they hit her or him with 3 spots, and they sing for 3.5 minutes, and the house comes down. Can't do that in a movie. You have to find a way that the camera can be moving, and that usually, particularly in animation, the scenery can be moving. My joke was that if you're going to write a ballad for a character in animation, she better be going over a waterfall in a canoe.
But what I would like to ask you, though, does the way you write that song, the way you construct the song, does it differ because you're writing for that woman who's going over the falls in the boat? Well, lyrically, do you have to match?
To some extent, yeah. I mean, a lot of it's the collaboration with the storyboard artists, which is what makes doing animation fun, because there's this whole other artistic component. And you have to work out with them what's going to be happening visually. So yeah, it does affect it. But sometimes they can take what you're doing, as with a song like Colors of the Wind, which is essentially philosophical, and they invent their own visual journey for it.